Walk into a thrift store and you'll find shelves full of clothes, shoes, furniture, books, and household goods, most of it donated or purchased at rock-bottom prices. To shoppers, it's a place to hunt for bargains. To the owner, it's a business with real profit potential. But how much money do thrift stores actually make? Is it a gold mine or just a community service that barely breaks even? Today, we are going to break down the economics of thrift stores, startup costs, operating expenses, revenue models, profit margins, and the lifestyle of running one. Why thrift stores work. The success of thrift stores is built on three things: low product costs, high turnover, and consistent demand. People are always donating or selling items they no longer need, which keeps the supply flowing. At the same time, there's always demand for affordable goods, especially clothing and furniture. Thrift shopping also benefits from cultural trends. Many shoppers see it as sustainable, stylish, and even adventurous. This combination of low supply costs and steady customer demand creates the foundation for profitability. Startup costs. Compared to many retail businesses, the startup costs of a thrift store are relatively low. You'll need a physical location, which could mean leasing a storefront or warehouse space. Renovations, shelving, racks, bins, and checkout counters will add to the bill. A point-of-sale system, signage, and security are also necessary. If your store relies on donations, you'll need collection bins, transportation, and storage. If you plan to buy inventory from wholesalers or estate sales, you'll need working capital for stock. On average, a small thrift store might launch with $20,000 to $40,000 in startup costs, while larger stores can require $100,000 or more. Monthly operating expenses. Once the store opens, monthly expenses determine whether you make profit or not. Rent is usually the biggest cost, ranging from $2,000 to $8,000 depending on location and size. Utilities like electricity, water, and internet can add $500 to $500. Payroll is another major expense. Cashiers, sorters, and managers often total $10,000 or more in larger stores. Marketing, insurance, and transportation can add another $3,000 to $3,000. Even for a modest thrift store, expect monthly operating expenses to land between $15,000 and $25,000. Where inventory comes from. The unique advantage thrift stores have over traditional retailers is the cost of inventory. Many stores source products through donations, which means the cost of goods is close to zero. Others buy bulk lots from liquidators, estate sales, or clearance auctions at very low prices. For example, a store might buy 1,000 pounds of clothing from a wholesaler for a few $100s and resell items individually for far more. Because inventory costs are so low, thrift stores enjoy margins that most retailers can only dream of. Pricing strategy. Thrift stores walk a fine line with pricing. Customers expect bargains, but owners need to generate profit. Most stores use tiered pricing. Everyday clothing might sell for $5.10, shoes for $15.30, and furniture anywhere from $50 to $200. Rare finds like designer clothes, collectibles, or vintage furniture can fetch premium prices. Some stores rotate sales, offering discounts on certain tags to keep inventory moving. The goal is high volume turnover, because the faster items sell, the more new donations or stock can be displayed. Revenue potential. Revenue depends heavily on store size and traffic. A small neighborhood thrift store might generate a $15,000 to $25,000 monthly in sales. Mid-sized stores can bring in $40,000 to $60,000, while large warehouse-style thrift stores can easily surpass $100,000 per month. Even online resellers who operate thrift-style businesses through platforms like eBay or Poshmark can make $5,000 to $15,000 monthly if they manage inventory well. The wide range shows that thrift stores can be either modest side hustles or major businesses. Profit margins. Thrift stores benefit from unusually high margins because of cheap inventory. Clothing that costs $1 or less per piece might sell for $10. Furniture bought for $20 at an estate sale could resell for $150. Gross margins of 50% to 70% are common, which is far better than traditional retail margins of 20% to 40%. Net profit margins after covering rent, payroll, and overhead typically land between 10% and 25%. For a store doing $50,000 in monthly revenue, that translates to $12,500 in profit. The role of donations. One big factor that changes profitability is whether a thrift store relies on donations or purchased inventory. Donation-based stores, like those run by nonprofits, have almost no inventory costs. Their biggest challenge is sorting and managing huge amounts of items. Stores that buy stock at auctions or from wholesalers spend more upfront, but they can control quality better and target higher value products. Either way, the low cost of inventory compared to sales price is what makes the thrift model work. Commercial vs. Nonprofit thrift stores. Not all thrift stores are the same. Nonprofit stores like Goodwill or Salvation Army operate with different goals. They focus on community programs, job training, and charity work, which means profits are reinvested rather than pocketed. For-profit thrift stores, on the other hand, exist to generate income. They can be more aggressive with pricing, marketing, and sourcing high-value inventory. Both models can be financially sustainable, but for-profit stores tend to have more flexibility in scaling and adapting. Customer base. Thrift store customers are diverse. Budget-conscious families come looking for affordable clothing. Vintage lovers and resellers hunt for rare or designer pieces. College students buy inexpensive furniture and housewares. Even environmentally conscious shoppers support thrift stores because of sustainability. Understanding this mix is crucial for owners. Some stores lean into the treasure hunt experience with organized racks and trendy displays, while others focus on raw volume and rock-bottom prices. Both approaches work depending on location and clientele. Marketing and traffic. Despite being budget-oriented, thrift stores still need strong marketing. A prime location with foot traffic is valuable, but social media has become just as important. Posting unique finds on Instagram, running flash sales, or highlighting sustainable shopping can bring in younger customers. Loyalty programs and student discounts also help. Many stores rely on word of mouth, but building an online presence allows owners to reach resellers and collectors far beyond the local area. Risks and challenges. Running a thrift store is not without its challenges. Donations can be inconsistent in quality, with some items unsellable. Sorting through inventory is labor-intensive, and disposing of unsellable items costs money. Theft is another issue, especially in busy stores. Competition is growing too, as more resellers and boutique thrift shops pop up. Finally, rent and payroll can eat into margins if sales volume isn't high enough. Success requires strong systems for processing donations, managing staff, and keeping shelves stocked with items people actually want to buy. Seasonal trends. Sales often spike in certain seasons. Back to school season brings families looking for affordable clothing. Winter sees higher demand for coats, boots, and warm clothing. Spring cleaning season often means more donations flowing in, which increases inventory. The holiday season is also strong for decor and gift shopping. Smart owners prepare for these peaks, stocking accordingly and running seasonal promotions to maximize revenue. Scaling the business. Thrift stores scale well if managed correctly. Adding locations multiplies revenue potential, though it also increases overhead. Some stores create warehouse-style outlets where items are sold by the pound, moving massive volumes of low-cost inventory. Others expand online, selling rare or vintage items on resale platforms to reach global buyers. The scalability depends on sourcing, logistics, and how efficiently items can be processed and sold. Lifestyle of a thrift store owner. Owning a thrift store is hands-on. Days are spent sorting, pricing, restocking, and managing staff. It's not glamorous work, but it can be rewarding for those who enjoy community interaction and bargain hunting. The financial lifestyle can be comfortable if the store runs efficiently. Owners of mid-sized stores often pay themselves $60,000 to $100,000 per year. Larger stores or chains can generate six-figure incomes. The trade-off is long hours, especially during the setup and growth phases. Is it worth it? So, is running a thrift store worth it? The answer depends on your goals. If you're looking for a business with low inventory costs, steady demand, and solid margins, it's a great option. If you're passionate about sustainability, community, or vintage fashion, it can also be personally fulfilling. The challenges, like sorting massive amounts of donations and managing overhead, are real, but the profit potential is strong. For many owners, thrift stores offer both financial reward and the satisfaction of making affordable goods accessible to their community. Thrift stores may look humble, but the profits can be impressive. With low startup costs, cheap inventory, and margins of 50% or more, they can generate steady income for owners. A small store might make a few thousand in monthly profit, while larger stores can clear tens of thousands. The business is not effortless. It requires organization, marketing, and constant turnover of inventory. But for those willing to put in the work, thrift stores prove that one person's donation can truly become another person's profit.